You'll think with the rise of mental health awareness, people will be able to notice changes in their mental health quicker and get the help they need. But unfortunately, this simply isn't the case. Anxiety, for example, is a common mental health disorder that can manifest in hidden, undetectable ways. That's why this list is here to give you some signs that probably went over your head that you might have anxiety. Number 1. Tardiness. For someone suffering from anxiety, things that are considered basic, like a morning routine or getting ready for school or work, might be overwhelming for them. They overthink every aspect of the routine and end up scaring themselves silly. That's why you might notice that they come late for events, and sometimes they clock in for work pretty late. It's worth noting that not all tardiness is related to anxiety. Some people just have poor time management skills. That being said, it's a good indicator of hidden anxiety. Number 2. They might exhibit antisocial behavior. People with hidden anxiety tend to feel like they stick out like a sore thumb in social situations. As a result, they might develop antisocial behavior. That's not to say people with anxiety can get violent though. On the contrary though, they can do everything within their power to avoid interaction of any kind. You might notice that they're more withdrawn or introverted than usual. This is because interacting with other people, especially people they don't know, might stress them out. You know how you feel when you're at a party where you don't know anyone? Well, that's exactly how it can be for someone with anxiety. Also, consider hitting that subscribe button. It's free. Number 3. They stress over the little things. You know that friend who you think overreacts over what you consider a small issue? Well, they might just be showing signs of hidden anxiety. That's why they can get overly dramatic, especially for things like a bad grade, a mishap at work, or a fight with a partner. It affects them deeply, and they can even go as far as isolation in an attempt to comfort themselves. Number 4. Their heads might seem to always be up in the clouds. If you begin to notice that your friend has become a bit of a scatterbrain, then they could have anxiety. And we're not talking about the cute movie-like ditzy pixie dream girl level of scatterbrain. No. We mean forgetting conversations or important information, or always spacing out during important meetings. People who have anxiety are always in their head, worrying about things that can go wrong and all the important tasks that they have to do, resulting in them always getting distracted and zoning out from time to time. Number 5. Physical health might start to decline. Anxiety is an illness, and like every other illness, it can be debilitating and affect your health physically. This is because anxiety can compromise your immune system. You might be wondering how this happens. Well, anxiety causes people to feel stressed, not to mention they might forget to take care of themselves, meaning their sleep patterns will be disturbed. They might not eat right and they'll be worn out. Eventually, the body breaks down due to lack of proper care and constant worrying. They might fall sick often. Number 6. Changes in body language and composure. Body language is always a great tell on how a person is feeling internally. Anxiety, apart from putting people in a state of internal turmoil, can also manifest externally with things we tend to pass off as quirks. For example, there's a change in countenance. People with anxiety can start to fidget a lot, play with their hair, pick at their clothing, bite their nails, or even exhibit word symptoms like trichotillomania, which is a condition where a person pulls out their hair. All these symptoms can make a person with anxiety feel even worse and make them worry more, thus causing them to be stuck in a loop. Number 7. Sleep disturbance. The Sandman has nothing on anxiety. Sleep disturbance is another hidden tell that a person has anxiety. Imagine if you're going to have a busy day tomorrow and you lay awake thinking of all the chores and errands that you need to run. Well, that's how people with anxiety feel constantly. They can't stop worrying about things that haven't even happened yet, and they lay awake most of the night in deep thought about it. That's why they don't have a great night's sleep, and you can always notice the bags underneath their eyes. Remember what we said about anxiety affecting your health? Well, lack of sleep is one of the reasons why your health can suffer. Number 8. A constant need for reassurance. Everyone needs a little bit of encouragement from their friends and family, but people with anxiety might demand it even more than normal. This is because they tend to underestimate themselves a lot, and as a result, they need someone to constantly tell them they've done a good job or validate their existence. This can be nerve-wracking for people with anxiety, as it feels that accomplishments only matter when another person tells them they do. And we're no life coach, but no one should leave it like that, as it's not great for their self-esteem. Speaking of self-esteem, that brings us to number 9. They might lack confidence. People with anxiety aren't going to be voted most confident anytime soon. This is because they constantly underestimate themselves while exaggerating their flaws. As a result, they go through life thinking they're losing losers, meanwhile they're not. Not to mention, so much of how they feel about themselves is based on how others feel about them, like we mentioned earlier. Number 10. Reduced level of productivity. With all this overthinking going on, your work is bound to suffer, as you can't put your best foot forward. And let's not forget, you have self-doubt to worry about too. Yikes. Anxiety sounds like a major bummer, right? That's why it's important to help out your friends if you notice any of these signs. Let us know in the comments down below how you think you can help out a friend suffering from anxiety. And that brings us to the end of today's video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.